divisional weekend wrap up of Haibo Does Data, SmashUp's metrics review. As always, I'm here with my co-host Owen. Owen, pretty good week for both of us last week.
It was. And if we could just get a replay of who said the Lions were going to be the Lions. And every Lions fan didn't want to believe it, but pretty sure no one's surprised that Washington won.
I
What
will
a
say, we got a few comments saying like that we're really bullish about your commander stack. Unfortunately, if you played the commander stack
That's right.
with Upside Down World, you actually actually got hit with the penalty. But man,
Yeah.
they put up 48, I think.
Yeah, it was amazing. Not quite 48. I thought it was like 45 or 41 or something.
Hmm.
It wasn't 48. I would have remembered 48.
Yeah, it was oh man, what a game. And of course that sets up Eagles Commanders round three. So
Yeah. This is the rubber match. This is the rubber match. I don't like this one. So I did feel, cautiously optimistic with the Lions. I don't have that same feeling. I mean, watching Saquon or Snow as they dubbed him in the game, I don't know. And running quarterbacks have just historically hurt Washington. So what Hurts can do, I mean, he had that beautiful run at the beginning of the game. I don't love it. If I remember, the one that we won was obviously at home. And didn't Hurts leave, or wasn't he out? Was it a backup quarterback? Like, yeah, I just think there was
yeah,
things that,
it was against Pickett for half of it, and then Tanner McKee for the other half.
yeah. And it's a
Oh.
good thing Washington won that, right? That's one they should have won, and they did. But I
Hmm.
don't. We'll see. But at the same time, let's be honest. The Eagles almost got beat. It
Yeah,
was almost the Rams. I mean,
they
that,
did.
that when you're 20 yards away throwing for touchdown, I mean, it's like that could have just flipped. So yeah.
Yeah. Elliott's been on and off all season. Like he made three tough field goals in the snow, which is great.
Yep.
Missed two extra points again. Which, granted, like I read some like I saw someone say like, "Hey, let's pretend he made both extra points and missed one of the field goals, right? Like, would you feel better if he went three for three and 2 for 3 on field goals in the snow? Probably, but that's actually one less point. So,
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good call.
yeah, like I can see it, but still, like he's been um, you hit those extra points and it's an 8 point game, not a 6 point one. And,
Yep.
you feel a lot better even if they do get that touchdown. So we'll see. And division games are always just, you never know.
Well, I had to pull it. It's going to be great. I can't wait. 3 o'clock on Sunday. And I'm looking at the weather right now in Philadelphia, and I think it's going to be looks like maybe
Hmm.
35-ish and clear. So, it's football weather. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be cold, but it's football playoff for the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. I mean, it's going to be amazing.
What did you think of the AFC games?
Eh, did they matter? All that really mattered
Mm.
was, yeah, it was the NFC, let's be honest. No, I'm not surprised to see Buffalo win that one, right? I think that was a great game. I wish that would have been for the Super Bowl. I think I you you kind of like the Kelsey story, and you like Mahomes, right? There's certainly players to root for, but like just like any dynasty, you're kind of ready to see him lose. And I don't
Yeah.
know that the Bills beat them. I just think the Chiefs might have their number. They're in their head. Maybe this is the year that they break it, but I don't know. Oh,
Yeah. You gotta feel like, you gotta feel bad for Andrews there at the end. Like,
Ooh, what a
you know.
miss. Yeah.
Um, but that said, I was very disappointed when the Ravens did not. I think it was fourth and two at the goal, like fourth and goal at the 2 yard
Mhm.
line, and they chose to kick the field goal instead of going for it. I thought that was the wrong move. Like
Yeah.
even if you didn't get it, you pin Buffalo against their like basically against their own end zone. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It,
that.
I had a buddy and he was like, we were talking about the end of the Andrews miss at the end, and I was like, he goes, well, it's never one play that call, and I was like, it's true, it isn't. the Andrews fumble 2 drives earlier also
Right.
cost. So again, we're going to stay on Mark Andrews here as a real problem. But you're right, play calling it all factors in. It is never just one play that loses a game. But ooh, that was a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at let's take a look at
And Washington did win 45-31. So they
45.
didn't quite get to 48.
I mean, that's
That's
45
beautiful.
is
What a score.
yeah. Yeah. Um all right. Well, divisional weekend, most played players. This will probably be the last week that this makes sense because
Yeah,
next week there's gonna be four four in
that's
each
right.
of these. So yeah, nothing too crazy.
No,
Nothing too crazy here.
I
But
I would just say that like I'm a little surprised that Goff and Daniels weren't higher up. Highest Vegas total, whether you thought Washington was going to have the worst defense, to see Allen and Jackson, which kind of a tough matchup there, right? I just
mhm,
I would have been less surprised to see Daniels and Goff or flip Goff and Daniels at 1 and 2 than Allen and Jackson.
mhm.
No surprises in the running backs. What a week they had.
Oh yeah, yes. We're going to talk about that in a little bit,
Yeah.
but yes, absolutely. Both, uh, both Ravens tight ends here in the top five.
Yep.
So yeah. I mean, it's only 8 teams, so
That's
it's
right.
kind of what you have. Human Vulture makes its way back into the top 10.
Good.
Um,
Good.
but again, a lot of those new cards in there, a lot of running back cards. You got Freight Train, Hellacious Halfbacks, starting RB. So lots of nothing too crazy here.
No, that's pretty standard. Yep.
I will say a lot of people hit pretty well in terms of like top, the most popular picks. A lot of times we see this popular, the really popular picks kind of go bust.
Hmm.
Um, I will say Josh Allen has hit Mr. Relevant like 6 weeks in a row. So, you know, didn't hit it this week, but Saquon hitting for 30, Gibbs with Run CMC hitting for 30, Jaden with Mr. Relevant hitting for 30. Saquon just ridiculous game. What is I something like 560 all-purpose yards against the Rams. Like it's averaging 280 yards against this team. Like just
Yep.
insane. Certainly, a really, really high score here. So, yeah, some pretty good picks. Um,
Seabird's confidence with Gibbs. Sorry, everybody.
I know. Uh, Here's what's interesting. So again, we look at the top 100. These are the top 100 highest scoring lineups across all the different tournaments that were going on last week. There's actually 103 because the person at the 100th spot tied. There was a four-way tie, so you end up with 103.
Okay.
All 103 lineups that were in the top had Gibbs and Barkley,
Wow.
100%, and
Yep.
90 of them had Henry and 64 of them did not play a quarterback, more or less. So, like, you
Uh-huh.
can see what the strategy was. It was just absolute domination by hellacious halfbacks, plus basically these three. Like Gibbs, Barkley, Henry, hellacious halfbacks, no quarterback. That was more or less like 80 of your top 100 plays.
Yep. Yep.
Um, what was really interesting to me was we haven't heard much from Bobblehead all season, I feel like. Bobblehead is the one where if you get 3 points for every target that you miss. So it's specifically a receiver card. So every target that you miss, you get 3 points. Kind of like the inverse of PPR, of
Yeah.
the catching fire one. This was pretty popular on Puka, and it was a good play.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was.
Puka had 14 targets, but only 6 catches. So
Yeah.
this was 24 points on Puka.
Wow.
Um, and I think it was only like a $2,000 card. So it was I mean, they targeted Puka a lot, just snow, defense. It's just
That just wouldn't have even crossed my mind to play it. But yeah, it was a smart play with the way the weather really played out there.
hmm and yeah, uh, pretty crazy concentration of strategies.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think we've ever seen it where the top 100 all had two of this. You had 100%. Like I just don't think we've seen it with one player, but I don't know that we've ever seen.
I don't think we've even seen it with one player.
Yeah,
Like the
you're right.
week
Even the chase week, even when maybe it was like 90% of people had it.
is like I think he was 48 out of 50, I
That's
think
right.
was
That's right. Yep.
but we have never seen 100%. And so that is, Gibbs and Barkley, everyone's like, and they delivered both of them. Just
hmm
they had their games. So,
Sorry, everyone, you can't ride Gibbs this week.
yeah.
Whoops.
And speaking of this week, so here's what I want to do. And once we get into championship weekend, and especially with Super Bowl, you're down to four teams.
Yeah.
You're very limited in kind of what you can do. So this is where we kind of throw out our normal weekly stuff. And I see this as like, this is our lab, right? Let's
Yeah.
experiment. Let's try some crazy things. Maybe we'll find some cool things to do for next season, but this is now our like, let's try out some things, right? Let's just go for it, see what we can do. And so this week we are running five tournaments. Our Fantasy Frenzy, which is operating off of a Flex 9 this week. We'll talk a little bit about
Gee.
that. Upside Down World, Trading Floor, Risk It for the Biscuit. And we're going to love this one, No Limit, which we will talk about that as well.
Welcome to
So,
Smash Labs here. This is some good stuff.
yeah. So, Fantasy Frenzy this week. It's operating off of Flex 9. So what that means is if you pull up Fantasy Frenzy, you'll see that every position is what we call ultra flex. So flex, you have running back, wide receiver, tight end. Sometimes people play with a super flex, which includes your quarterback as well. Ultra flex is basically everybody you want. Every position can be anyone. If you want all four kickers, if you want all four defenses, no restrictions on any position. As long as you stay in your budget, you can do whatever you want.
Wow.
So hopefully that, increases. We'll see more variance across different lineups. But because you did this, we have to remove some of the lineup cards. So Hellacious Halfbacks is gone. So no, um, Chris was saying like, what if I just pick six running backs
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
play
Yeah. Yeah.
Hellacious? So no Hellacious Halfbacks, no 2 minute drill, no Hurricane Season, and no Ride or Die. Because with Ride or Die, you can imagine picking all four QBs and then Ride or Die powers up everybody. It
Yeah.
just it
Yeah. Yeah.
runs into some crazy stuff. So these four lineup cards are removed, but everything else is in play, and you can pick whatever you want.
Okay.
So that will be an interesting one. We will see kind of how that turns out. Then we have three of our kind of GM challenges, right? We had Fountain of Youth, we had Mud Bowl. We have three of them this week that we have not used. This is a new one. It's called Trading Floor. And basically, this is can you pick players who outperform their projections?
Uh-huh.
So anyone who outperforms their projection gets a 25% boost. Everyone who doesn't gets a 25% penalty.
To
And so,
clarify, just for me, and I assume this is it, this is projections without any cards applied to them. Or if you apply a
yes.
card, okay.
Yep. Just base scores.
Okay. Okay.
And so this will be an interesting one. So if we take a look at Trading Floor, if we were to play a lineup, for example, on Trading Floor, you know, Josh Allen at 24.8 points projection, that's a big risk actually to try to take.
Yeah.
That's potentially a big risk. I know a lot of people are going to be playing Saquon this week as well, but again, 23 points in non-PPR means,
Mhm.
you're betting on like 150 yards plus a touchdown minimum,
Yeah. Yeah.
to kind of get there. So this will be an interesting card to see who outperforms their projections.
I'll give everyone a tip. Just looking at what I saw on there, you got to play Scary Terry. I think he was only projected at, yeah,
Terry at
11.8.
11.8.
Yeah, it's pretty low. I think that feels like a slam dunk to me. Especially when you see like Devonta Smith at almost 10,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Terry is a true number one that Jaden just loves. But
Hmm.
okay, I digress.
Well, I mean, that's a good like where is let's look at other wide receivers here. Where is so here, Keon Coleman at 5.8.
Yeah,
Um,
3,700.
and at 3,700. So,
Higher.
potentially good value there. Yeah, there's some other ones in here that might be interesting. So this would
But I
be
would just say this, like so in the format, right? And it's no PPR. So you're saying Keon Coleman, one, either scores a touchdown
yep,
or he's going to get 59 yards.
yes,
And I'm guessing I haven't looked at player props, but I'm guessing Keon Coleman is not set at even money at 58 yards, right? So I think if you start really looking at the math, there'll be some fun ones here for people to think about.
yep, absolutely. So that will be an interesting one. Again, for these GM challenges, everyone gets this card for free, and you cannot remove it. So everyone's playing under the same conditions. So that will be an interesting one to look at.
Yeah.
We talked about Upside Down World last week, but it was mainly for the Tournament of Champions week. This week we're opening it up to everybody, so everyone can try it out. Again, every team that any player on a losing team gets a 25% boost, while any player on a winning team gets a 25% penalty. And we are banning V for Victory because V for Victory essentially negates this card, which
Yeah.
kind of goes against the whole purpose of playing this. So last week, we talked about the commander stack because we thought, they
Yeah.
were going to get that bonus. Turns out they, so we'll see kind of what the strategy here will be for folks.
So what is the tournament this is the last week of Tournament of Champions?
So Tournament of Champions is just a normal week this week.
Okay. Okay.
This is the just the week, the open, anybody can join weekly tournaments
Yeah. For this. Is
for this.
Tournament of Champions doesn't have anything special?
Nope. Tournament
Yep.
of
Okay.
Champions, it's just slug it out last week. Like,
Nice. Yeah, that's good.
you know, we'll we'll finish it with a
Get
vanilla
back to
week
basic. Yep.
and see who can close it out. All right. This one you're gonna like because you've been playing with this basically the whole season.
Oh man. Yeah.
Um,
Love it.
I always thought it would be super fun to just have a risk it for the biscuit tournament. So risk it for the biscuit, open for again every single player. So under weekly, we have our risk it for the biscuit tournament. Um, Everybody has this card on them. So it's just you know 140 potential points, right? If you hit on every single position, it's just who's gonna hit those home run plays.
Yeah.
Who's gonna hit those home run plays?
I will retire from this podcast if someone scores 140 points on
There it is. The
it.
gauntlet has been thrown.
I do not believe it will happen. Having played that for what, 7 or 8 weeks, I don't believe it'll happen. It's very hard, especially with only 4 teams.
Yep. So yeah, everybody can kind of go for it. And again, to prevent stacking on things, Hail Mary, Speed Demon, and Freight Train are also removed within this tournament.
Yep. Okay.
Um, and here's my favorite. This is the one where I'm just curious. Like, oh, and I think we've had conversations in the past, and the week that Matt was on, he was talking about, the what's the highest score you can get.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is very much a like, what do you think you
Oh,
can
gee.
you can get? So Flex 9 format again, meaning you can pick whoever you want, anything. We're giving you 100,000 in player budget. Ostensibly, what that means is there is no budget.
Yeah.
There is no budget. You can pick whoever you want in any combination. we're going to go 20,000 in card budget, meaning that you should be able to play any combo you want. The only Smash card we're removing is Ride or Die because I think that actually breaks the system. The other ones, so for the normal Fantasy Frenzy, we're banning Hellacious Halfbacks, 2 Minute Drill, and Hurricane Season because we're not really sure, right? Like, because this is kind of, experimental, we don't want it to be like, I don't know what's going to happen with this.
Mhm.
For no limit, they're in, you
Yeah,
know, go
love it.
for it. Like, whatever you want. And then every single field card is also active. So Mud Bowl, Trading Floor, Upside Down World, Risk It for the Biscuit, and Fountain of Youth, all active.
Yeah, this is
Everything.
just NBA jams, high scoring chaos. Love it.
I'm curious to see. I'm almost like I'm 100% certain we're going to have a 300 point lineup. We might even have a 400 point lineup. I don't know. This should be kind of a, and I thought it'd be fun for us to do one. So
Right?
maybe
Yeah.
we can let's try it. Um, so no limit.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. 100,000, 9 U flexes. So literally anybody you want. Anybody you want.
I
Any
mean,
combination.
let's definitely just grab the top three for sure.
Okay, so we're gonna take Saquon, Allen, and Jaden. Okay?
I want Terry out there.
Right?
I think we got to go with Hertz, right?
I mean,
Got to go with Mahomes too.
you
I
can
think
do
you
that.
stack four QBs.
You go all four QBs. Okay.
What do we got left?
We
Three
have three
slots left.
spots.
So then, and I mean, I guess this is a strategy then. Do you pair with like kind of like we did with Jaden and Terry? I don't like to pair Allen with anyone, so maybe you do go James Cook there. I think you almost need Kelsey with Mahomes. Is
Um,
Brown hurt? Or he's questionable?
he's had a little bit of a knee thing, and he's definitely looked a little off the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, but who knows? I mean, he dropped a huge, like, a 40-yard completion, maybe a touchdown last week. So who knows?
Scroll down. Let's just see. So Cook.
So we can take Kelsey.
Yeah, I like Kelsey. Cook. Who's kind of, is there like a sleeper down here that we like? Yeah, I don't know. I think once you get down here, this is where it gets tricky. And now part of the strategy, how much does go to the cards real quick. So we've got 44,000. Is Capologist capped?
Yeah, it's
Max.
still capped at the 10.
It
But
is
for
still.
500, you get your 10 points. Like,
You might as well take that. We know we're using that. Yep. Okay.
yep.
I don't know who we might as well put someone in there then. I mean, who do you want to throw out there?
So I think this depends a little bit on like where we're gonna
Okay.
do cards wise.
You're right. We could throw a kicker out there or just crazy stack them with some stuff.
Yeah, we could. If we think there is a like defense or kicker, we could in theory stack like like the alternative is if you also think Saquon's going to go for another huge week, you could just
Yeah.
stack every card you possibly you
Yep.
can on Saquon. But I mean,
What is Mud Bowl? I'm not familiar with that card.
so Mud Bowl is all defense and kickers get a 3x, and then everybody
Oh,
else gets a 10% penalty.
oh, interesting.
So that was the week where like if you went all four defenses, all four kickers. But the thing
Yeah.
is like that's only one of, you're gonna get hit
Yeah. Yeah.
quite a
Yeah.
bit on the other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but I mean this lineup is a good lineup for Risk It too. Like
Yeah, that's right.
Risk It's
100%.
gonna be live for every single one of these.
And that's why I
Um,
think you do have to throw out another player just to try to take a swing at that risk it. And that's where it's like someone like Xavier Worthy or
mhm.
Keon Coleman, some of the speedsters, right? I think is where you could get some interesting plays there.
Yeah. Um, or we could just take AJ Brown.
Just take AJ Brown. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I like Worthy though. Like
Yeah.
maybe we take
He's been
Worthy.
coming on.
Um, so is this 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah. Okay. We're basically going to break even for Upside Down World because we have two players from every team other
Yeah.
than the Chiefs, where we have three. So that's going to break, upside down world's going to be a wash. Trading floor, I mean, a lot of these are high. Like we're probably going to take negative on trading floor if I'm going to guess, but that's okay. Um, Fountain of Youth, I think we'll be fine. Like we just have a lot of card budget. So now it's just like, what do we want to spend money on?
Man, I don't even know. I am going to put a lot of thought. I'm going to put too much thought into this. I think you're right, though. It is like the person that's going to win is going to stack the right player. And I don't know if it's Saquon, could be someone that surprises, but someone is just going to load up on someone
Yeah.
and it's going to be great.
We could also just go for the value. Like we know if this hits, it has great value. So something like roll of the dice. I really like roll of the dice on Cook because Cook
Okay.
was the one where like
Yeah, I think so.
we're
With he's got Ray Davis out there, and you got guys that are in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. Hey, what do we go down just a little bit? Let's put 3500. Get to 3500. I can't remember the name of the car, but it's 3500. Turbo Boost. Let's put Turbo Boost on Jaden
okay.
or Daniels. I'd throw it on Jaden, but I think Dan or Allen or Daniels.
So who do you think's going to hit Mr. Relevant, Jin or Allen?
I would lean. I think you're right. Okay, I'd put Mr. Relevant on Jaden and then Turbo Boost on Allen.
Okay,
Yep.
Turbo
And then
Boost on Allen, and then Mr. Relevant on Jaden. Okay.
yep. I just think he's throwing more against Philadelphia than maybe Josh has to.
hmm Um,
Okay.
so in this particular case, you can load up on the Hail Mary for Freight Train and Speed Demon
Gee.
if you wanted to. Um,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. How much money do we have left on cards?
we have like 9,000.
Okay. Okay. I think we
So
got to put some stuff on Saquon.
so for Saquon, could do run CMC on Saquon.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and then
I'd do bruising bell cow on Saquon. I
Bruising
love
Bell
it.
Cow. Do you think that or Freight Train? Like, do we think he's going to get
Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
run
Do
of
freight
30
train.
yards?
You're right. Take a swing on freight train.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 3,000 left. So at 3,000, we have,
What about go up to the 1500? I was going to say, what about Golden Arm for Mahomes? He just
okay.
seems he just seems like he could throw four touchdowns, two to Kelsey, two to Worthy.
Um, cool. And then
We got to do a Seabirds, and we don't have any kickers, so we've kind of. I don't think Worthy does any punt or kick returns. He was the only one I was thinking that might be special teams, but I don't think he does.
so the alternative is um, if we get rid
Yeah, I can
of
take that off Mahomes.
Golden Arm, um, now at the 3,000 level, so what do we have here? This one's from a homie, which, you know, someone who's going to throw a ton. I don't know if folks are going to throw a ton. Maybe Jaden might be a good one for this one.
Jane, he's just so efficient, right? He's typically
Yeah.
around 73, 74% completion. So I'd put it on Jaden, and he's probably going to get 15 points on that card.
Yep. Anti-hero. I mean, this is specifically the Travis Kelce card. Every touchdown gets a 3x. So if you think Kelsey is going to score some touchdowns,
Yeah, I think you're right. We took it off Mahomes on the golden arm. Let's do Kelsey. I think that's a good one because I just think he shows up when this game matters.
and then the other possibility is just starting RB on Saquon. Like, you know, um, but anti-hero is a fun one. Do anti-hero on Kelsey,
I think so.
and we currently have 184 projected points. So
Not bad. Not
we
bad.
will see. But again, risk it here has a projected value of 0, and
Yeah.
this lineup could hit like 5 or 6 for risk it. You know, you're
Oh,
looking at potentially over 100 points on this card alone. So,
someone's going to hit 140, and I'm never going to be able to do this again, Haibo.
So this is, I mean, I will be very curious to see what people come up with. Like this is true. Like literally, you can do whatever you want. This is kind of the like, whatever you want to play, see if it works thing. And
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens.
Is this single entry or do you allow people to do multiples on some of these specialty tournaments?
So all specialty tournaments have a base entry of one, but if
Okay.
you have a promo code, you have two.
Okay.
So I believe everyone who has a promo code has two. If you do not have a promo code, just message us and we will give you one. So you can, you
Better
know,
yet, message a friend and get them to join.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah. Come on,
that's
this is a
that's
fun,
right.
this is gonna be a fun couple weeks. Now, and I assume is this our last one, Haibo, or are we gonna do one before the Super Bowl?
We're gonna do one before the Super Bowl.
All
So
right. Yeah.
yep,
Still time to refer people. This is a fun week to get people to try this out.
yeah, yeah. Maybe they don't start on no limit, but
Yeah, that's right.
certainly, the Fantasy Frenzy Championship, it's going to be a fun one too. Like I said, Flex 9, every position, you can pick any player. So, uh, normal card budget and player budget. So, can't go too crazy, but this will be a fun one.
Good
It'll be
stuff.
a fun
Good
one.
stuff.
All right, Owen. Well, we will see on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Well,
What's our no texting until 6:15?
yep. No texting. And yeah,
Oh,
good
I
luck.
don't feel
Well,
great about it. I don't feel
not
great.
too much luck, but
Yeah, yeah. I hope everyone stays healthy.
yes, yes. And
Awesome.
to everyone listening, good luck this weekend on your lineups. And yeah, we'll come back and see how we did next week.
Awesome. See you,
All
Haibo. See
right.
you. Good luck.
Have a good one.